Fighters get the glamour and bombers inspire awe, but as any general will tell you, it's logistics that win wars. So, let's count down the best military transport planes of the Second World War. Number 11. The Messerschmitt Mi-321 323rd G. For the planned invasion of Britain, Germany needed a way to get tanks and troops across the English Channel fast. The answer was a massive glider, the Mi-3821, designed and built in just a few weeks. With a wingspan as wide as a modern B-52, it was the second largest aircraft in the world. The problem, getting it airborne. A single tow plane was too weak. They even tried using 3 Bf-110 fighters at once, which was incredibly dangerous. Eventually, they created a twin-fuselage Heinkel He-111 just for the job. But a simpler solution was to just put engines on the glider itself. This turned the Mi-321 into the Mi-323, with 6 French-made Radia engines. While it was a sitting duck for enemy fighters, the Mi-323 was a pioneer. Its huge clamshell nose doors, which opened for easy loading of oversized cargo, and its multi-wheel undercarriage, set the stage for the strategic transport aircraft we see today. In total, 213 were built. Number 10. The Junkers Ru-90. In the late 1930s, the Ru-90 was an impressive airliner, a big step up from the common Ru-52. When the war started, it was pressed into military service. Junkers was then tasked with creating an even bigger version purely for military use. They modified the Ru-90s on the production line, giving them a bigger wing and more powerful engines. Number 9. The Avro York. The designer of the legendary Lancaster bomber, Roy Chadwick, saw potential in his creation beyond dropping bombs. He took the Lancaster's wings, engines, tail, and undercarriage, and attached them to a brand new, square-shaped fuselage, with double the internal space. The result was the Avro York, first flown in 1942, powered by 4 of the same Rolls-Royce Merlin engines as the Lancaster. It was surprisingly fast for a transport, reaching nearly 300 miles per hour. With Lancaster production being the priority, only a few Yorks were built initially. The third prototype, named Osh, became Prime Minister Winston Churchill's personal transport, complete with a relatively luxurious interior. It flew Churchill, Keane, Your Sexto, and other high-ranking officials to pivotal wartime conferences in Cairo, Tehran, Moscow, and Yalta, helping to shape the post-war world. Number 8. The Savoia-Marchetti SM-82 Kangaroo. This was, without a doubt, the best transport aircraft produced in large numbers by the Axis powers. It was so effective that after Italy's surrender in 1943, it served with both the Allies and the Germans. The Kangaroo was so reliable it remained in service with the Italian Air Force until the early 1960s. Developed from an earlier airliner, the SM-82 was a true workhorse. It set records, including a non-stop flight of over 6,000 miles. During the war, these planes were vital for supplying Italian forces in North and East Africa. In one incredible operation, SM-82s transported 51 complete CR-42 fighter planes, plus spare engines to West Africa, in a country known for its beautiful fighters. This not-so-pretty transport was probably the most useful aircraft Italy produced during the war. The 726 built made a real difference, a claim few other Italian planes of the era can match. Number 7. The Curtiss C-46 Commando. The C-46 started life as a CW-20, a handsome airliner designed to compete with new planes from Douglas and Lockheed. A radical redesign turned it into a brilliant military transport. The sleek, pressurized fuselage was replaced with a larger, unpressurized one with big cargo doors. It even had firing ports in the windows for infantrymen to defend the aircraft. First flown in 1940, the C-46 could carry 55 passengers or 33 wounded soldiers. Its performance was incredible for a twin-engine plane. It became a hero of the hump, the treacherous air route over the Himalayas used to supply China. It also proved its worth towing gliders during the crossing of the Rhine in 1945. By the war's end, over 3,300 commandos had been delivered, proving its value time and time again. Number 6. The Junkers Ru, 52/3 of a meter. Nicknamed Tantru. or anti-RU. This plane was a true pioneer of all-metal aircraft construction. Originally designed with a single engine, it found its true calling as a three-engine trimotor. The then-secret Luftwaffe saw its potential as both a transport and a bomber. His first taste of military action was in the Spanish Civil War. When World War II broke out, the Ru-52 became the backbone of the Luftwaffe's transport fleet. It was used everywhere, from airborne assaults to general supply runs. However, its low speed made it incredibly vulnerable to enemy fighters. During the campaigns in North Africa and the desperate attempt to supply Stalingrad, hundreds were shot down. Despite these heavy losses, nearly 5,000 were built by the war's end, and production even continued in France and Spain until 1952. Number 5. The Douglas C-54. Douglas's first attempt at a four-engine airliner wasn't a huge success, but they wisely went back to the drawing board. They simplified the design, and the result was far superior. The U.S. Army was very interested and ordered it as the C-54 military transport. Unlike most transports of the time, which had a tailwheel, the C-54 had a modern tricycle landing gear, making it easier to load. It became the go-to aircraft for VIPs, famously serving as President Roosevelt's personal transport, complete with an electric wheelchair lift. Churchill and General MacArthur also used it. It flew across the Atlantic, the Pacific, and over the hump, carrying vital personnel and supplies. After the war, the C-54 became an icon of the Berlin airlift, where it was affectionately known as the candy bomber for dropping sweets to German children. Number 4. The Lockheed C-69 Constellation. First flown in 1943, the Connie was a game-changer. With its unique dolphin-shaped body and triple-tail design, it was the most technically advanced transport of the war. Originally designed as a luxury airliner, the first models were requisitioned by the military when the U.S. joined the conflict. It had a pressurized cabin for high-altitude flight, turbocharged engines, and power-boosted controls features unheard of in most transports. Number 3. The Arato R-232. This German aircraft was a vision of the future. Purpose-built as a military transport, it introduced many features that are now standard. It had a high wing, a pod and boom fuselage, and a rear loading ramp with clamshell doors. But its most distinctive feature was the undercarriage. It had a normal tricycle gear, but also a set of 11 pairs of smaller wheels underneath the fuselage. This millipede design allowed it to lower itself for easy loading and to taxi over soft or rough ground. A few were even used by Germany's secretive Special Operations Unit, KH-DO-00, for missions like dropping agents behind enemy lines. The AR-232 was simply ahead of its time. Number 2. Gliders. While not powered, military gliders were crucial. Towed into the air and then released, they could land silently behind enemy lines, delivering troops and equipment together in one spot, a big advantage over scattered paratroopers. The American Waco CG-4 was the most widely used, but the British Airspeed Horsa was probably the best all around. The largest was the British Hamilcar, which could carry a light tank. And of course, the biggest of all was the German Me-321 we mentioned earlier. Gliders were essential for major airborne operations throughout the war. Number 1. The Douglas C-47 Skytrain, or Dakota. According to General Dwight Eisenhower, the C-47 was one of the 4 things that won the war for the Allies. It started life as the hugely popular DC-23 airliner. The military version, the C-47, got more powerful engines, large cargo doors, and a strengthened floor. This tough, reliable plane did everything. It's famous for dropping paratroopers over Normandy and Arnhem, but it also moved cargo, towed gliders, and served as an air ambulance. The Soviet Union built a version called the Li-2, which they even used as a bomber. Over 10,000 C-47s were built, and the contribution to the Allied victory is impossible to overstate. It was, without a doubt, a war-winning aircraft. And when the fighting stopped, it helped bring countless people home. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, look at the unsung heroes of the sky. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more. See you next time.